If you're eating these 4 so-called healthy foods every day, you're unknowingly destroying your erections and sabotaging your circulation. What I'm about to reveal will shock you. Foods that doctors recommend and nutritionists praise are secretly causing inflammation and blocking blood flow where you need it most. I'm Dr. Vital, and these 4 foods are probably hiding in your kitchen right now. And they could be the reason why your sexual performance has declined, no matter how many vitamins you take or exercises you do. Type 1 in the comments if you want to know which foods are killing your performance, or 0 if you think your current diet is already perfect. Let me tell you about Stephen, a 65-year-old retired accountant who came to my clinic completely frustrated and confused. Stephen had been following what he called the perfect healthy diet for over 2 years, based on recommendations from his cardiologist, his nutritionist, and everything he'd read in health magazines. He was eating Mediterranean-style meals, drinking soy milk for protein, using heart-healthy vegetable oils, loading up on fruits for antioxidants, and choosing whole grains for fiber. Dr. Vital, Stephen told me, I'm doing everything right. I've cut out red meat, I'm eating all the superfoods, I'm following every dietary guideline for men my age. But instead of getting better, my circulation is getting worse, my energy is lower than ever, and my wife and I haven't been intimate in 8 months because I simply can't perform. How is this possible when I'm eating healthier than I ever have in my life? When I ran Stephen's blood work, the story became crystal clear. His inflammatory markers were through the roof. C-reactive protein, interleukin-6, and TNF-alpha were all elevated far beyond normal ranges. His blood vessels were under constant inflammatory attack, and the very foods he thought were healing him were actually destroying his circulation from the inside out. Here's what Stephen didn't understand, and what the medical establishment refuses to acknowledge. After age 60, your body responds differently to certain foods. Foods that might be perfectly healthy for a 30-year-old can become circulation killers for a man over 60. Your immune system becomes more reactive, your gut becomes more permeable, and foods that once caused no problems can now trigger chronic inflammation that destroys blood vessel function and sexual performance. The medical establishment continues to recommend these foods because they're profitable for the food industry and because most doctors simply don't understand how aging changes your nutritional needs. They're still giving 60-year-old men the same dietary advice they'd give to someone half their age, and the results are devastating. Before I reveal these 4 circulation-destroying foods, you need to understand something that will probably anger you. The food industry spends billions of dollars promoting these foods as superfoods and heart-healthy options, knowing full well that they can cause serious problems for men over 60. These foods are heavily processed, highly profitable, and are hiding in virtually every healthy diet plan recommended by mainstream nutrition experts. The research showing the problems with these foods exists, but it's buried in medical journals that most doctors never read, and it's actively suppressed by food industry lobbying. What I'm about to share with you could save you years of frustration and potentially restore the sexual function you thought was gone forever. If you want more honest, science-based nutrition information that puts your health before industry profits, make sure to subscribe to Dr. Vital 60 Plus and hit that notification bell. Food number 1, soy products, the hormone disruptor. The first food that's destroying your sexual performance is soy, and this includes soy milk, tofu, tempeh, edamame, and the hidden soy that's in thousands of processed foods. Soy has been marketed as a heart-healthy protein alternative, especially for men over 60, but the reality is that soy contains powerful compounds called phytoestrogens that can dramatically disrupt your hormone balance and destroy your sexual function. Phytoestrogens are plant compounds that mimic estrogen in your body. When you consume soy regularly, these compounds bind to your estrogen receptors and can actually lower your testosterone levels while simultaneously increasing estrogen-like activity throughout your system. For men over 60 who are already dealing with naturally declining testosterone, adding soy to your diet is like pouring gasoline on a fire. Research published in the Journal of Nutrition found that men consuming just 2 servings of soy per day experienced significant decreases in testosterone levels within just 4 weeks. Another study showed that soy consumption was directly correlated with decreased sperm quality and sexual function in men. Let me tell you about Richard, a 68-year-old who switched to soy milk 3 years ago because his doctor told him it would be better for his heart than dairy. Richard had been drinking 2 large glasses of soy milk daily, plus eating soy protein bars as snacks. When he came to see me, his testosterone levels were in the bottom 10% for men his age, and he hadn't had a satisfactory erection in over a year. I had Richard eliminate all soy from his diet immediately. Within 6 weeks, his testosterone levels had increased by 40%, and his sexual function began to return. Dr. Vital, he told me, I can't believe that something I thought was healthy was actually destroying my manhood. My energy is back, my strength is back, and my wife is very happy about other improvements too. The problem with soy goes beyond just the obvious sources. Soy is hidden in thousands of processed foods under names like soy lecithin, soy protein isolate, textured vegetable protein, and natural flavors. It's in bread, crackers, protein bars, salad dressings, and even some vitamins and supplements. Here's how to eliminate soy from your diet. Read every label carefully and avoid anything containing soy, soya, or any soy-derived ingredients. Replace soy milk with unsweetened almond milk, coconut milk, or if you tolerate dairy, organic whole milk. Instead of tofu, choose grass-fed beef, wild-caught fish, or pasture-raised eggs for protein. Avoid processed foods as much as possible, as they're the most likely to contain hidden soy. Food number 2, processed vegetable oils, the inflammation trigger. The second food destroying your circulation and sexual function is processed vegetable oils, particularly canola oil, soybean oil, corn oil, and safflower oil. These oils have been promoted as heart-healthy alternatives to saturated fats, but they're actually inflammatory time bombs that damage your blood vessels and destroy your circulation. These oils are extremely high in omega-6 fatty acids, and when consumed in the quantities that most men eat them, they create a massive inflammatory response throughout your body. Your body needs a balance of omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids, with an ideal ratio of about 1:1 to 1:4. But most men over 60 are consuming omega-6 to omega-3 ratios of 20:1 or even 30:1, creating chronic inflammation that damages the delicate lining of your blood vessels. When your blood vessel lining, called the endothelium, is inflamed and damaged, it can't produce nitric oxide effectively. Without adequate nitric oxide, your blood vessels can't dilate properly, blood flow decreases, and sexual function suffers dramatically. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that diets high in omega-6 oils significantly increased inflammatory markers and decreased endothelial function in men over 50. Another study found that replacing these oils with healthier fats improved circulation and sexual function within just 8 weeks. Mark, a 63-year-old restaurant manager, came to see me because his energy had crashed and his sexual performance had declined dramatically over the previous year. Mark's job required him to eat most of his meals at restaurants, and restaurant food is loaded with these inflammatory oils. Every salad dressing, every sautéed vegetable, every piece of grilled meat was cooked in or dressed with these circulation-destroying oils. I helped Mark identify restaurants that used healthier cooking fats, and I taught him how to ask for his food to be prepared with olive oil or butter instead of vegetable oils.
I also had him start taking a high-quality omega-3 supplement to help balance his fatty acid ratios. Within 2 months, his inflammatory markers had significantly decreased, and his circulation had improved so much that his sexual function was better than it had been in years. The challenge with these oils is that they're everywhere. They're used in restaurant cooking, they're in salad dressings, they're in processed foods, and they're even in foods marketed as healthy. Here's how to avoid them. Cook at home as much as possible using olive oil, coconut oil, or grass-fed butter. When eating out, ask for your food to be prepared with olive oil instead of vegetable oil. Read labels carefully and avoid anything containing canola, soybean, corn, or safflower oil. Choose olive oil-based salad dressings or make your own.
Food number 3, high sugar fruits, the blood sugar destroyer. The third food that's destroying your circulation is high sugar fruits, particularly grapes, bananas, mangoes, pineapples, and dried fruits. Now, I'm not saying all fruits are bad, but certain fruits can cause blood sugar spikes that damage your blood vessels and impair circulation, especially when eaten in large quantities or at the wrong times. When you eat high sugar fruits, your blood glucose levels spike rapidly. These glucose spikes cause a process called glycation, where sugar molecules bind to proteins in your blood vessel walls, creating harmful compounds called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. These AGEs cause inflammation and stiffening of your blood vessels, leading to poor circulation and erectile dysfunction. For men over 60, this process is particularly damaging because your body's ability to handle glucose spikes decreases with age, and your blood vessels are already less flexible than they were when you were younger. Research published in the Journal of Sexual Medicine found that men with higher blood glucose levels were significantly more likely to have erectile dysfunction, and that even modest improvements in blood sugar control led to better sexual function. Paul, a 61-year-old who prided himself on his healthy lifestyle, came to see me because his morning erections had completely disappeared and his energy was crashing every afternoon. Paul started every day with what he called a superfood smoothie, containing 2 bananas, a cup of grapes, mango, and pineapple juice. He thought he was flooding his body with antioxidants and vitamins, but he was actually creating massive blood sugar spikes that were damaging his circulation. I had Paul replace his high sugar fruit smoothie with a low glycemic version using berries, spinach, and avocado. I also taught him about fruit timing, eating any fruit he wanted, but only after physical activity when his muscles could use the glucose immediately. Within 3 weeks, Paul's morning erections returned, his afternoon energy crashes disappeared, and his overall circulation improved dramatically. The key with fruits is not to eliminate them entirely, but to choose lower glycemic options and time them correctly. Berries are excellent because they're low in sugar and high in circulation-supporting anthocyanins. Apples and pears are moderate choices. Save higher sugar fruits like grapes and bananas for after exercise when your muscles can use the glucose immediately. Here's the practical approach. Limit high sugar fruits to small portions after physical activity. Focus on berries, which provide antioxidants without the blood sugar spike. Avoid fruit juices entirely, as they lack fiber and cause rapid glucose spikes. If you're going to eat higher sugar fruits, pair them with protein or healthy fats to slow glucose absorption. Food number 4, gluten-containing grains, the gut inflammation trigger. The fourth food destroying your circulation is gluten-containing grains, particularly wheat, barley, and rye. After age 60, many men develop increased sensitivity to gluten, even if they've never had problems before. This sensitivity can cause intestinal inflammation that triggers systemic inflammation throughout your body, including in your blood vessels. Gluten sensitivity isn't the same as celiac disease. It's a more subtle condition where gluten causes increased intestinal permeability, often called leaky gut. When your gut becomes permeable, partially digested food particles and toxins can enter your bloodstream, triggering an immune response that causes chronic inflammation throughout your body. This chronic inflammation directly affects your blood vessel function by damaging the endothelium and reducing nitric oxide production. It also increases cortisol levels,
which can further suppress testosterone production and sexual function. Research published in the journal Nutrients found that men with gluten sensitivity had significantly higher levels of inflammatory markers and lower testosterone levels compared to men without sensitivity. Another study showed that eliminating gluten improved erectile function in men with non-celiac gluten sensitivity. George, a 64-year-old former athlete, came to see me because he felt like his body was falling apart. He was eating what he considered a healthy diet with plenty of whole grain bread, oatmeal, and pasta, but his energy was constantly low, his joints ached, and his sexual function had declined dramatically. His inflammatory markers were extremely high, but standard allergy tests showed no problems. I had George eliminate all gluten from his diet for 8 weeks as a trial. The transformation was remarkable. Within 2 weeks, his joint pain decreased significantly. By week 4, his energy had returned to levels he hadn't experienced in years. By week 8, his sexual function had improved so much that he felt like he'd turned back the clock by a decade. Dr. Vital, George told me, I never would have believed that bread and pasta could be making me feel so terrible. I thought I needed grains for energy, but eliminating them gave me more energy than I'd had in years. The challenge with gluten is that it's in so many foods beyond just bread and pasta. It's in sauces, seasonings, processed meats, and even some vitamins and medications. Here's how to eliminate gluten effectively. Read labels carefully and look for gluten-free certification. Replace wheat bread with almond flour bread or lettuce wraps. Use cauliflower rice instead of regular rice. Choose gluten-free oats if you eat oatmeal. Focus on naturally gluten-free whole foods like vegetables, fruits, meats, and nuts. Now that you know which foods to avoid, let me give you a clear strategy for what to eat instead. The goal is to reduce inflammation, support healthy circulation, and optimize your hormone balance naturally. For protein, focus on grass-fed beef, wild-caught fish, pasture-raised eggs, and organic poultry. These provide all the amino acids you need without the hormone-disrupting compounds found in soy. For healthy fats, use olive oil, coconut oil, avocados, nuts, and seeds. These provide anti-inflammatory omega-3 fatty acids and support hormone production. For carbohydrates, choose low-glycemic vegetables like broccoli, spinach, cauliflower, and Brussels sprouts. If you want fruits, stick primarily to berries, which provide antioxidants without blood sugar spikes. For grains, if you tolerate them, choose gluten-free options like quinoa or rice in small quantities. The key is to eat foods that support circulation rather than foods that damage it. Every meal should include anti-inflammatory proteins, healthy fats, and low-glycemic vegetables. This combination will help reduce inflammation, balance your hormones, and restore healthy circulation. Based on my experience helping hundreds of men eliminate these circulation-destroying foods, here's what you can expect. Week 1-2, you'll notice reduced inflammation and better digestion as your gut begins to heal. Week 3-4, your energy levels will start to stabilize and you may notice improved circulation to your hands and feet. Week 5-8, this is when most men notice significant improvements in sexual function as inflammation decreases and blood vessel health improves. Beyond 2 months, the benefits continue to compound as your body's natural circulation capacity is restored and your hormone balance improves. Your circulation and sexual function don't have to decline with age. The weak erections, low energy, and poor circulation you may be experiencing could be caused by these 4 inflammatory foods that you're eating every day, thinking they're healthy for you. Remember Stephen, Richard, Mark, Paul, and George, men who transformed their health by eliminating foods that were secretly destroying their circulation. You have the same opportunity to take control of your health by making informed choices about what you put in your body. If this information opened your eyes to the truth about these so-called healthy foods, give this video a thumbs up so more men can discover what's really causing their circulation problems.
Subscribe to Dr. Vital 60 Plus for weekly evidence-based health strategies that put your well-being before industry profits. In the comments below, tell me which of these 4 foods surprised you the most. Were you eating soy thinking it was healthy? Cooking with vegetable oils because you thought they were better than saturated fats? I read every comment, and your experiences help other men in this community. Next week, I'm revealing the biggest morning mistake that 95% of men over 60 make that sabotages everything we've discussed today. This mistake is so common and so damaging that it can undo all the benefits of eating the right foods and avoiding the wrong ones. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on so you don't miss this crucial information. Until then, start eliminating these 4 circulation-destroying foods from your diet and begin your journey back to better health, stronger circulation, and renewed confidence. Your body will thank you, and so will your partner. I'm Dr. Vital, and remember, the truth about nutrition isn't always what the food industry wants you to believe. Take care of yourself, make informed choices, and I'll see you in the next video.